Welcome to the Cave of Wonders. I am Lord Callous of the Dreamwalkers, and this is the Rancor Report. I hope some of you are sitting down because this news is about to be a kick in the gut for some of you. This comes to us from The Hollywood Reporter. This news was released about an hour and a half ago. Kathleen Kennedy will remain at the helm of Lucasfilm. Let's get right into this article. So it reads, Star Wars Chief Kathleen Kennedy's Lucasfilm deal has been extended for 3 years. After the box office disappointment of Solo: A Star Wars Story, the studio plans to expand the universe with new characters introduced in movies and television shows. Kathleen Kennedy has reignited her lightsaber. Oh yeah, they're getting bold. The lead producer and architect of the Star Wars franchise has renewed her contract to remain president of Lucasfilm for another 3 years, through 2021, The Hollywood Reporter has learned. The move is a vote of confidence in Kennedy, who took command of Lucasfilm after Disney's $4 billion acquisition from George Lucas in 2012, and has overseen the relaunch of Star Wars, one of the most revered movie properties in cinematic history. Disney's 4 new films have grossed almost $4.5 billion at the worldwide box office. Ancillary and merchandising have brought billions more into the studio's coffers. I like that, how they went back and used the Phantom Menace term as a vote of confidence. Anyway, but it hasn't always been easy money. Kennedy has had to replace directors on 2 movies that were either in production or post. Those were Chris Lord and Phil Miller. They were fired from Solo: A Star Wars Story on June 20th, 2017, less than a year before the film's release. Kennedy also effectively replaced Rogue One Star Wars Story director Gareth Edwards with Helmer, why did he use that term? With Helmer Tony Gilroy, meaning that Tony Gilroy took over. Though Edwards kept his directing credit, last year Colin Trevorrow, who was to have directed Star Wars Episode 9, was fired and replaced with the series Episode 7 Helmer J.J. Abrams a week later. This dude really loves the Helmer word. Why don't you just say that they took over? Jeez Louise. Anyway, Kennedy's position is one of the most visible and her actions the most highly scrutinized in Hollywood due to the immense popularity of Lucasfilm's franchise, which also includes Indiana Jones. So it's notable that her renewal follows this summer's Solo: A Star Wars Story, the first big screen box office disappointment for the franchise, grossing only $392 million worldwide, and leading analysts to estimate a loss for the film at $50 million to $80 million or more. In contrast, 2017's The Last Jedi and 2016's Rogue One grossed $1 billion globally, and 2015's The Force Awakens topped $2 billion in receipts. Kennedy's deal extension also follows a polarizing reaction to Last Jedi, which sits at 91% fresh on review aggregator Rotten Tomatoes, but was flooded with unusually angry fan complaints on social media about key plot choices. You're damn right. But anyway, the reaction to Last Jedi and Solo is resulting in a shift in studio's strategy, with Disney making plans to slow the output of movies. Quote, "You can expect some slowdown," Disney CEO Bob Iger told THR in an interview published on September 20th, adding, quote, "But that doesn't mean we're not going to make films. Of course you're not. You need to recoup your money. You're damn right you're going to make films." The only Star Wars film currently underway is Episode 9, currently shooting in London and due for release December 2020, 2019, excuse me. Sources tell The Hollywood Reporter that Episode 9 will be the last of the chapter, quote-unquote, installments, with Disney planning on touting its selling point in the promotion campaign for the film in the year leading up to its release. Lucasfilm is developing feature projects from Game of Thrones directors David Benoff, I guess, and D.B. Weiss. I love Game of Thrones, but I don't know how to pronounce these guys' names. As well as a potential trilogy from Rian Johnson. The filmmaker behind Last Jedi, Johnson, however, is currently prepping to shoot a detective thriller that is to star Daniel Craig. We talked about that a little while ago. I believe it's called Knives Out. Daniel Craig will be starring in this thriller, or mystery, really. Sources say that the near future of Star Wars lies in television, with Kennedy led Lucasfilm planning on expanding the universe with new chapters in that medium. The show at this stage includes a live-action series run by Jon Favreau, which is currently casting, and the animated Star Wars: The Clone Wars, both of which will air on Disney's Untitled streaming service, which is set to launch in the second half of 2019. Meanwhile, another animated series, Star Wars Resistance, premieres this month on the Disney Channel. We just saw that extended trailer that came out 2 days ago. Lucasfilm is also developing a new Indiana Jones movie, the fifth in a series starring Harrison Ford and directed by Spielberg, but that project recently saw its release date pushed from July 10th, 2020 to July 9th, 2021. That's a year later. Script issues were the cause. The last Jones movie, 2008, The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, grossed $786 million worldwide, adjusted for inflation. Kennedy got her first break working as an assistant to writer John Milius and then Steven Spielberg, becoming a co-founder of Amblin Entertainment. She has established one of the most inviable producing careers in Hollywood, with credits on classic blockbusters like E.T., the Extraterrestrial, Back to the Future, and Jurassic Park, as well as critically acclaimed Spielberg dramas like Schindler's List, Munich, War Horse, and Lincoln. In September, she was named as a recipient, along with husband producer Frank Marshall, of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences Irving G. Thalberg Award. I covered that a couple weeks back. For a body of work reflects a consistently high quality of motion picture production. She will receive the honor at the 10th Annual Governor's Award on November 18th. That's a lengthy article, and that concludes that article, but you guys let me know what you think. I mean, certainly we can go either way. We can argue back and forth about whether or not she deserves the spot, whether or not she doesn't deserve the spot. Is it a good move on Disney's part to support to back her up? She has a proven track record up until Solo. As much as we may hate The Last Jedi, her track record is flawless in a manner of speaking until Solo. So does that really govern a reason for them to terminate her? Or do they say, well, let's look at what she has done. Based on what she has done, yes, this one flopped, but let's see what we can do moving into the future. So she's got 3 years. We'll see what happens. I'm really indifferent about it. I just want you to protect my Star Wars. That's all. That's all I care about. I don't give a damn if she's here or not. I just want them to protect Star Wars. Anyway, this has been the Rancor Report. Please hit that subscribe, that like, comment down below. Let me know how you guys are feeling. I appreciate you watching. Again, this has been the Rancor Report. Until next time.